Hello and welcome to this review for the game Statera. Things may look a little differently. That's because my living room looks differently now. You can take a little peek back there. That's where I used to have all my games set up, but now I'm over here. So the review, it's a bit on the late side, and that is because after making my tutorial videos, the crowdfunding campaign was going and it was going well. But the two creators, Philip and Thomas, they thought we kind of hoped to make a really big splash on the first 2 days instead of like really going up in a good pace, getting in the money, but no. So they decided to pause it for now, tweak on things a little bit, get more promotion out there, and then go again. And I really hope they're gonna make it, because 2 thumbs up from me for Statera. Really nice game, plus incredibly original. I had a lot of fun with it, plus it's something different. If you like to know what everything looks like and how it's played, I made other videos for that. I'll just be giving my opinion here. I can't say anything about the components because this is a prototype. Things may look different when the game actually is officially published, but I'm guessing there will be scales on the board, yeah, that's not a bad thing, because when I first learned of this game, I saw a picture of what everything looked like, and it has a literal set of scales on the board. So that caught my eye, and as I was setting it up at an Amsterdam board game club to show everyone how it's played, yeah, people were looking at the scales as well. Oh, this is something unusual and interesting. And it's not just for show. The scales are functional. It's not just a gimmick. It's actually it's a whole part of the theme. These are 2 gods. It's the cat god and the dragon gods. They are taking in the dead souls of those people who believe in them and putting them on the scales. And usually for them, the winning condition is whoever has the most souls on the scales wins the game. And the winning conditions for the people differ which story you're playing. Depends on how many players there are. So yeah, scales were a fun addition and functional. That's the most important part. So actually playing the game, as I said, very, very original. It's a unique game because it's not a role-playing game, but this is not a massive fantasy game. It's just, this is the land of Statera, and you have the fawns and the chompas, green and blue. Some of them are atheists, so that's good. It's not a game that promotes religion in any way. And some of them believe in the dragons, and some will believe in the cat god. And they don't like each other, they fight. So that's also a thing. Yeah, and just within that world, they have created several ways to play it. It has a set number of rules, and per story there can be a few tweaks in how things are played a little differently. Yeah, so it really feels like just playing a game. It's not a huge setup. The playtime is between 45 minutes and 2 hours. The 2-hour one is the one if you're with 4 players. So of course it's a bit longer because every player gets their own turn. The way it's played, when it's explained, the first thing you may think of is the other board game named Root. And yes, in Root, every player has their own player board with their own actions on it, their steps they go through when it's their turn, and they differ from each other. Every player has a different set of things to do when it's their turn. Statera kind of also has that, but these 2 have the exact same player boards. They just have slightly different cards. And these 2 do have different boards, but they're sort of similar, but definitely completely different from what they're doing. So, and that's where it ends. I can't say anything else that makes me think of Root, which I think was a very nice and original game, and Statera as well in a completely different way. So yeah, it's its own thing. The whole world is fun, but it's mostly about just playing the game, trying to get your goal, taking your turns. That's it. Keeping an eye on the other players. Whether you like it or not, there is forced player interaction. You have to keep an eye on everyone else because, yeah, in the theme of the scales, there is a lot of things to keep balanced, or especially for the god to make him unbalanced. So yeah, fun. Really good. There's this one thing I have to mention that I thought was a negative thing, and just the one, and that is no matter which game you play, no matter how many players there are, there's always a set number of rounds. It could be 6 rounds, 9 rounds, depends on the number of players. And it happened twice that I've played it more than 2 times, but twice of those times it happened that before you start the final round, it is already clear there's nothing that can be done to prevent that one player from winning. It's already clear. There's nothing anyone can do. This player is going to win. So you might as well actually not even try to do that final round, because it's not going to change the outcome. It's just going to give you one more turn to do something that won't make you win the game. And yeah, that's the sort of feeling it's not very nice. It's a bit, oh, okay, so we're just going through the motions now for the sake of it. But, you know, you could have easily skipped it, that final round. Yeah, what is there to do about it? I don't know. That's up to the designers of the game. Some sort of action that's a voodoo ritual that allows them to take souls off the scales to change the balance of everything. I don't know, but at least that was one thing for me that I thought, that's a bit of a downside for me. And of course, with so many other games, you can be so far behind, or maybe one player is so far ahead that you all know this person is going to win. But in Statera, it really is, we have one more round to play and nothing is going to change the outcome. So yeah, that's the only thing that I came across that I thought, yeah, that's a bit of a downer. But up to them what to do with that information. And the rest was just fun. It feels as if the game is really close to the finishing line, to the whole concept, the design being finished, but just not there. It's one step away from the finish line, and exactly what it needs to go over that step, I'm not sure. But even playing it the way it was now was so much fun. And if this is what it ends up being, which I don't think it will, it's good enough for me. So yeah, absolutely, I had fun with it, and such originality deserves to be recognized and realized. So keep an eye on the campaign. It's you can, well, if you search for Statera game, I'm sure you come to some place that's either their Facebook page or their crowdfunding page, because it is coming back. Keep an eye out for it. It really deserves it. It's 2 thumbs up for me. Yeah, a very enjoyable game. I can't really say if you like this type of game, then you'll like that one, because yeah, it's different, but it's not so weird that you say, okay, this really has to be your particular type of game. No, if you like board games, well, it's not a puzzle game. It's not like Patchwork or Bear Park or anything like that. If you only like those games, then yeah, this does not have that. But just regular gamers, whether you're more of a Euro gamer or a Merry gamer, it doesn't matter. It's got a bit of both, but mostly it's its own thing. So yeah, that's it from me. I really hope that you're gonna keep an eye on it for the future when it comes back to crowdfunding, and I hope it makes the launch that they were hoping for in the first place. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this review, and hopefully see you for the next one.